You've probably seen this, the cute pole studio, the aesthetic mirrors, the soft lighting, the packed showcase, the slow motion hair flip. And then you think, I want that. And you're not wrong. But here is what you don't see. The lease negotiations, the AC breaking in the middle of August, the late night payment disputes. Oh, and the awkward student instructor feedback conversation. And the sickness that you get right before your fully booked day. Now I'm going to say a little bit about myself. I used to co-own a pole studio in San Antonio, Texas. I was the main instructor for years and I absolutely loved it. Some of the instructors I trained back then even opened their own studios now. Some of them train in the other studios or still in the studio that I have sold. And I'm genuinely proud of that. That time of my life was probably one of the best times of my life. But before you open yours, let's talk reality, something no one ever told me before I opened the studio. Opening the studio is not just I love pole, I'm good in teaching, or possibly I'm just a good student. No, it is a commitment, it is a business, and honestly, it will ask from you more than you think. Let's talk about that. Oh, and a little disclaimer, this series is not here to hype you up. It's here to show you the reality, the money side, the time side, the stress side, the mistakes I would never repeat, and the things I would absolutely do again. By the end of this video, you are either going to be absolutely pumped up to open your own studio, or you'll realize it's just not for you. And honestly, both of those outcomes are a win. So let's start with the reality check. You're not opening a pole studio, you are opening a business. Teaching is only a very small part of it. You will be the scheduler, the cleaner, customer service, the marketing team, conflict manager, maintenance person, and honestly, a lot of times a therapist. You will also be your own financial advisor until you get your own CPA and many other things. And here's a little secret. If you hate admin work, you will suffer unless you can afford paying someone else to do it for you. I don't know why I'm around this yellow thing, but it attracts me. No idea. The studio will live in your phone. Messages at night, last minute cancellations, payment issues.
Can I transfer my class? Am I running late? Can I bring a friend? My shoulder hurts. Can I still come? My period started today. I'm not sure what to do. I got pregnant. Should I keep going? Should I keep doing the classes?
Your phone becomes your studio. So really, boundaries are not optional. Let's just say that if you don't set up your own boundaries, your studio will set them up for you. And most likely, you will not like that. Let's talk about people underestimating emotional labor. Students get attached, instructors have opinions, and drama happens. So sometimes you manage personalities more than actual class. Let that sink in. A peaceful studio does not happen by an accident. It is built, it's protected, and it's enforced. Enforced by you. And now I'm going to say something very harsh, but it's probably one of the most important lessons I've learned in studio ownership. If you take anything out of this video, take this. Your students cannot be your friends. Cannot. And if you are the owner, your instructors shouldn't be either, probably. And not because you're cold, not because you don't care. Because once you become an owner, the power dynamic is just there whether you want it or not. I literally have some crazy stories about what happened when I cross that boundary myself. And I might tell you more about that later. But just think about that. You set prices, you enforce policies, you approve schedules, you give feedback, and you decide who gets the opportunities, meaning who's going to be instructor, who can perform during showcases, and sometimes you decide who stays and who goes. More about that later. Just that on its own changes the relationship automatically. Even if you might not feel it, they might. If you don't believe me, let's go into details just a little bit more why friendship becomes a problem for studio owners. Boundaries blur. Get this, pun intended. But seriously though, boundaries do blur. If your best friend cancels late, do you charge them? If they break a rule, do you enforce it? If you hesitate because of the friendship, your authority weakens. And you might not realize, but the students see that. They notice everything. Perceived favoritism spreads fast. Even if you treat everybody equally, perception matters. If one student or instructor is always close to you, others think that they are treated differently. If one student or instructor is always close to you, others assume that they get special treatment, which probably they do. Conflict turns personal. In business, you will tell someone no at some point. You'll say no, you'll enforce the policy. If that person is your best friend or becoming one, that conversation will become emotional and very personal. You're not going to like that. With instructors, it is even harder. If you're too close, giving an honest feedback becomes very, very awkward. Discipline becomes inconsistent, and other instructors feel the imbalance. From my personal experience, very, very few people know the difference between friend conversation and boss conversation. It takes emotional maturity and strong boundaries, and most humans do not naturally have that. So here's the truth: you can be kind and respected, but you cannot be everyone's best friend and a great boss at the same damn time. Mic drop. You can care deeply, you can have warm relationships, and you can build an amazing community. But there's a difference between community and dependency. Leadership requires clarity, period. When you open the studio, you have to decide, do you want to be that favorite friend, or do you want to be a respected leader? Your schedule is not your schedule anymore. The prime times for teaching are evenings and weekends when everyone's off their work. You will be working. So if you're the main instructor in the beginning, let's just face it, you will be working when everyone else is free. That's just the reality. Now let's talk about partners. They can be amazing or it will be a disaster for you. I got very lucky. I had an amazing partner, and to this day, I'm very thankful that I had her because she has guided me through a lot of things that I did not know. She did not know either. We learned together, but we knew when to push the buttons, when not to. We had our little fights, but at the end, we worked it out. And again, I will forever thankful to have her. Christine, if you're watching this, I love you. So here's what I have learned. Your partner does not fix your problems. They multiply what already exists. So if you had it bad, it will be worse. If you had it good, it will be better. If you have a good partner, you will have the second option. Bad partner, you know what it is. So ideally, you need words in writing, responsibilities in writing, decision-making rules in writing, and even an exit plan in writing. If you don't have that, yeah, I highly doubt you will have a good partnership. If you don't have that, you have hope. And hope, it's not a contract. Ooh, and let's talk about whether you should have a partner or not. That is a great thing to think about. If you're only good with financing, get a partner. If you're only good in pole dancing, get a partner. If you're a great admin, great manager, great videographer, all of that, but you're not good in pole,
get a partner.
Ideally, two of you need to become a strong one. Now, if both of you are really great in pole, you're not going to be a great studio owners. I guarantee you 100%. If both of you are great in financing, but nobody knows anything about pole or very, very little, chances are you're not going to do that good either. But the only time when you should be the only studio owner is if you can do all of it by yourself. If that's a yes, you got this. Now that we're indoors and warm, let's talk about love and rent. You can love pole, but you can still underprice or overprice. You can love your students and your instructors and still fail. If your studio does not make money, it closes. Yes, passion is powerful, but you cannot run your studio on passion on its own for too long and successful. Structure and very well thought through plan is what keeps your doors open. Leading and planning, this is what will make it last. Here are some reality check questions. Are you okay working nights and weekends for years, being responsible for people's safety, enforcing rules and losing customers because of it? Are you okay spending money before making money? Being the one who fixes everything when something breaks, staying consistent when you're tired. Can you separate friendship from business? If you said yes to most of those questions, you are probably a good candidate to open in your studio. For all the hard times, there were moments that really made it worth it. And usually for me, those moments were during the showcases. Just sitting there and watching them perform for their first time. You know, when they started from zero confidence to enough confidence to perform for the very first time ever in front of their friends, in front of strangers. Some of them could not even climb the pole the first time they walked in. And now they're on the stage. Clean lines, clean transitions, present. And every single time I had tears going down my cheeks. Not because it was perfect, but because everything we have built together, every correction, every training hour, every open pole that came into practice on their own, or our trainings together, every single doubt they had in themselves, they were not just doing tricks, they were transformed. Those were the moments where I knew this was not just a business. It's an impact that you have on yourself and on your students and on your instructors. But you know what? The moment when I realized that this was just bigger than teaching was when my student became instructor. And I will say that they were not just instructors, they were the best instructors in town. Why? I have not just said, oh, hey, you're doing great tricks, come here and teach. We trained for months and months, and my instructors would not let me lie. If you're one of the North Pole instructors that I have personally trained, please do comment underneath and do not let me lie that it was weeks and weeks and weeks of how long it took to train you to become an instructor. And every single one of you that I have personally trained, I'm so damn proud of you. And this is exactly why I'm building this series of should you open your own pole studio or should you stay an instructor or a student? In the next video, we will talk about money, startup costs, and what you realistically need to open up a studio without panicking every single month. If you have any questions you want me to cover in the future series, comment below and I'll see if I can include them in. If you want one-on-one advice, comment one-on-one which state you're in and city, and I will reach out to you. All right, reality check is complete. Thank you for watching. Let's talk numbers next.